Hello and welcome to our ICC Boot Camp for Thursday, January 29th. Gary here. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be underway in just 2 minutes. We've got so many wonderful things to share with you today. Some new protocols that will put money in your pocket and certainly help the people that participate in them. Some information and updates on the business compensation plan for THI. Absolutely fantastic way. You don't even have to get a lawyer or a bank to facilitate the ability to get your promissory note finished. So it's all here for you today. It's just, wow, so very exciting. So we'll be underway, as I say, in just a couple of minutes, and we're going to take a look at a few of the people that are joining us. Thank you for joining us, everybody. All right. Got beautiful weather here. Wow, I just can't believe it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a couple of puffy white clouds out there. But this is the place to be. Just no snow. I was talking with Tom earlier, and he said that it was below zero, freezing cold. No more freezing cold. All right, well, I think I've got about 30 seconds. Got to get ourselves set up to get started with the sharing of screens. So screen share. All right, so let's get started. Here we are, January 29th, ICC Boot Camp. My goodness, I couldn't believe this. No human, let alone an animal, should have to live in these conditions. This is a prison cell in El Salvador. Wow. Now, this is our year of Jubilee. I really hope that you will become actively involved in the San Miguel El Salvador project. Should these people be in here? Well, I see a lot of tattoos, so they're probably gang members, and they've probably been extorting and doing all kinds of nasty things. But nobody should have to live like this. Nobody. And we can change this. And so for each and every one of you that are going to become active, you need to actively participate in Employee Gold. You need to do walking billboard advertising business to support El Salvador and San Miguel especially. We'll start there, and then we'll move to the other cities in San Miguel, and we'll eliminate these people from having to live in a cage. Can you imagine the smell? No deodorant. I don't know what the toilet looks like, but it's got to be pretty obscene and just unbelievable. Also, in the news section, you might want to take a look at this particular individual. A Venezuelan woman earns her entire living standing in line to buy toilet paper. Venezuela, Argentina, both the same situation. We can help these bankrupt nations. I've got one individual that I'm hopefully going to be working with that he is from Venezuela, and we'll try and bring our protocols to Venezuela to solve the problem, because he has some good government contacts and banking contacts. So anyway, there's something we can do to make this world a better place. All right, let's move back up here. What a fiasco this webinar was. Anyway, it's recorded, it's up there, it's not really well done, it's not the way I'd like it, so I'm going to do another one without anybody. I'm just going to put the information up there, but you can go because there's some good information that I provided. But those of you that have BVK, Zcash, and chips, please come and join my Fuel Club. It's a great way to make USD. and you'll be able to be paid twice as much as we were offering last year. It's kind of outlined here in a couple of other overviews. So you can get a corporate platinum membership, pick up an extra 200,000 this year, 100,000, 111,000 in DVK, and 100,000 USD. So please come and join us. Let's make this a bang-up year for helping people with fuel challenges, especially in those northern climates where they're using heating fuel, home heating fuel, propane, natural gas. All of those things can be included, and we are paying USD. And we will soon have our own La Strada LLC, being able to issue promissory notes. I meet on Monday with an attorney here locally. I have another attorney I'll be meeting with next week here in the Dominican Republic as well. So things are really moving along in the right direction to issue more and more promissory notes. Once you have a promissory note, you have several options. Obviously, you can get an attorney to assist you. There's two ways at the bank, but there also is the business compensation for THI that we're going to review in detail, so you can see that you don't even need to get an attorney. You don't even need to get a bank. You can just work within the protocols that we have. So that's absolutely fabulous news. Now, speaking of banks, yesterday I had a call from a good friend of mine, and he said, would you like to get involved in a new bank, a sovereign bank? And I said, well, that's interesting. So here it is. Let's go take a quick peek at bank account opportunity. It's called Victorious Financial. Late Wednesday, the 28th, I was introduced to Richard Converse through my good friend Rich Denoka. Rich spoke highly of Dick and the new bank he and his associates have created. We talked for about 30 minutes. He gave me a brief overview of the bank, where it is, and why they're setting up the bank. And there will be a bank located in Montana, but the city is in Belize, and that's really good. The bank is part of the system, so it'll have FDIC backing, but it's also going to have some very unique features that are definitely worth your participation. The bank is being set up to be exchanging primarily the dinar, but probably the other RV'd currencies. And so if you have dinar, this would be a great place to take it and get more than the street value. And so that's what's all about. But certainly you'll be able to run your banking business from here. I certainly expressed interest in placing promissory notes, and he's going to set up an appointment with a woman by the name of Victoria, who's a former Bank of America headwig. And so she has lots of involvement with documentary funds, and I hope to be seeing and talking with her, not seeing her, but talking with her before March. I said in March, but I think it'll be before then. So you can see where I'm headed. I think this will be another great exchange facility, especially with the mindset that Dick and Victoria have in helping people. I'm certainly impressed with what was discussed. They already have 300 account holders. They are looking for 200 more. I've completed my application, but I will be sending it over the weekend. You have the same opportunity as I, the same risk as I have. I make no guarantees about this project, and you join at your own risk and certainly at your own reward. I earn nothing for referring you to this program, so make your own decision. If you join, great. If you don't, I don't care. The cost to set up an account is $250 plus 50. That's a total of 300 USD. And the $50 is for hardship cases, people that can't come up with the $300, and they accumulate several 50s, and then they benefactor that person in. I'll post the letter and the instructions below. And so here is the link for the letter. You can read it, and here's the link for the application. They're using well, let me just read it here so you can see why it says this. Richard says they're using Fidelity Investments application to gather your info until they have everything printed for Victorious Financial. Seems odd, but it's working for now. Print off the form and complete it. And so these are the instructions I pulled from his letter. Instructions for the application for checkout, for checking account for our Victorious Financial Bank, please read through it. Before filling out the application, if you want a joint account, please fill out 2 applications and then send them in. Let him know that you want to put 2 together. You're supposed to fill it out in black ink and sign it in blue. Okay, master copies have to be sent, not scanned, not faxed, hard copy. So just a few simple instructions. He says the U.S. Treasury wants to use Fidelity forms till we have the accounts and everything's finished on the charter. In no way is Fidelity involved. On the second page, fill out the social security number, social insurance number if you're Canadian, or whatever tax number you've got, through to the email address. That's all. Nothing below there. Page 3 is for beneficiaries, if you have any. And page 4, you sign at the bottom and the date. Skip. That's it. Copy it, sign it, keep a copy for yourself, sign it. Send the original along with the check for $300 or a money order. Okay, and if you need to contact this person, it's been in business for 16 years, 1 month. He's in Montana. He has an accountant. He runs DC Tax Service. He's got the address right there is where you send it, Great Falls, Montana. And he seems like a really honorable guy. So your choice. If you want to join, great. If you don't, no problem. I really want it for Brightstar and our ability to set up another exchange facility. But I'm certain that anybody who gets an account will have great value in lodging promissory notes there. That's going to be our goal. So that's pretty darn exciting. So there we have the bank account opportunity. All right. And let's go next to the THI business compensation. All right, this has been modified since our webinar 2 weeks ago, I believe, on the THI business compensation. It has been dramatically improved. Wow. I'm telling you, Mr. B is just doing everything in his power to assist you folks in obtaining the funds that you need to move forward. So here's what it says. January 23rd, when a lawful beneficiary of a promissory note that is a member of the Internet Catalog Club negotiates with Texas Holdings, Inc. and agrees to bring business. Well, what's that? Well, that could be anything. Quite frankly, what I'm doing is I'm bringing a hotel to the table. All right. And we're working with our Aussie and Kiwi friends. And so Wayne and Warren and I are going to be putting together a purchase of Pacatoa Island, hopefully in February. And so THI will buy that. All right. So when you bring a business that's for sale or products that are for sale to THI, then obviously THI, to exchange the promissory note for other currency, THI accepts the business. Up to 90% of the profits that THI obtains associated with the business at THI's sole determination and discretion may be used to exchange promissory notes presented by the member, by an ICIB work center that works with the member, and by international logistics manager that works with the center. So that's Gary and Eddie and you. All right. So you bring a deal to the table that, well, in this case, let's talk about the farm that we're working on right now. $72 million. All right. So $72 million. Remember, when it's purchased with a promissory note, that's 100% profit. So 72 million, and I'm just punching into the old calculator here, times 0.9. That means there's 64,800,000 available for a promissory note. Well, it doesn't take too long for you to be able to buy something when you submit your promissory note for that to be paid off, does it? That's huge. Before it was just a sixth. Now, you have to negotiate with Gary and Eddie to get all of that 64.8, but still, you know, that's 90% available for the three of us, Gary, Eddie, and you. All right, and you can do this as many times as you want. Remember, we can buy anything and everything. Doesn't matter the size. We've issued a promissory note for $380 million, one for $250 million. There's others being issued as we speak. Other work centers are coming alive, and so we want to be at the forefront with La Strada, and La Strada should be up and operational today or tomorrow. Haven't heard from Eddie, but I know that we're very, very close to having that accepted by Pennsylvania State. When that happens, we can issue through Lestrada our own promissory notes. That's super exciting because that's more profit as well. All right, so let's scroll down. Thereafter, now remember, these promissory notes can float around out there. If a member of the Internet Catalog brings business to THI through which THI earns profits, THI shares those with THI 1/6 to the member, 1/6 to the center, and 1/6 to the international logistics member. So that's fabulous compensation. We get the 90% up front. Once that's been done, as the promissory note circulates, and you have to understand what we can do with these things. We can buy and sell back and forth. You see, once Rahino was set up, that was the first. Well, Lestrada's the second. Now, they can buy and sell promissory notes back and forth between themselves. Are you starting to figure this thing out? 90% the first time, 6%, 6%, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, okay? And it can continue ad nauseum. Okay, that's just so exciting that we have that capability. And as we get more and more centers set up, exchange facilities set up, then obviously we can exchange amongst the various centers. All right. Now, the next thing I want to do is to show you a couple of fabulous new ways to entertain getting that 90% for yourself to fulfill your promissory note. We've created two new protocols here. One's called Cafelet World Promotion of Coffee Business. Now, you all know that Ben has a Cafelet Services in El Salvador, and it's a coffee plantation. And the entity that owns the Cafelet trademark has allied with Texas Holdings Inc. to support the coffee industry by providing parties hereinafter coffee entities involved in the coffee industry 100% rebates for business expenses related to growing, processing, brokering, shipping, advertising, distributing, or consuming of coffee. Now, coffee is big business worldwide. I would say just about everybody drinks coffee, except for me. I don't drink it. But that's not to say that you do or you don't. It doesn't make any difference because there are thousands and, well, hundreds of thousands of people who do. Now, a coffee entity may apply through any member, that's you and me, of the Internet Catalog Club to have THI provide a 100% rebate for coffee-related expenses incurred over the previous 12-month period. 100% rebate for coffee-related expenses incurred over the previous 12-month period. So they happen to be a coffee wholesaler. They happen to be a farmer. They happen to be a retailer. Starbucks. Do you think they buy coffee? Can you imagine how much coffee-related expenses, related, keyword, not just the coffee itself, but coffee-related expenses. So they gather up all their invoices for the whole year, and we give them 100% rebate in a promissory note. Could be millions for Starbucks. Could be millions for other large coffee producers. Now, if the request submitted through a member is approved, THI may provide a buyer a Rahino promissory note valued at 200% of the coffee purchases. So let's say it's $1 million. So now the promissory note is going to be $2 million. Now, however, requests for less than $100,000, because it may be you, and you spend $10,000 a year on coffee, or a little diner on the corner, then obviously we'll add up all those requests from others in order to process it in a block, with one party being responsible for contracting and making the payments to those included in the block of requests. So it could be a McDonald's, it could be Burger King, it could be any major chain, but it could also be a mom and pop restaurant. Now, they can go and see the draft note of the Rahino promissory note. A coffee entity must contract with THI to exchange a note received for USD bank deposit funds using the protocols found in How to Exchange a Rahino Promissory Note for Other Currency. As will be stipulated in the contract, a buyer must return as change or overpayment of rebate 50% of all funds received through a note to THI. So if the rebate is 100% is a million, then the promissory note is 2 million, and back comes the 1 million. Now, funds returned to THI may be distributed as per the protocol we just reviewed. So there's $1 million there, of which 90% or 900,000 is available for your promissory note. Well, you just needed to pay off your $500,000 mortgage. Guess what? Well, that's where Gary and Eddie come in, and we're going to soak up the rest. It's all negotiable, all right? Depends on the size of the business. Now, additionally, to initiate the process, a coffee entity must pay an LHP retail administrative fee, $5,000. So they pay the fee if they want to get $1 million. Now, if they don't want to do that, well, you could offer to pay the fee, and I'll show you how in a minute. But the point is that $5,000 has to be paid for that administrative fee. So you can go to Employee Gold, you click on D31, and check it out. Well, however, a coffee entity may promote other business with THI through which the payment for the fee may be earned or recovered. Or a coffee entity may recover the cost of the fee by including it in the amount to be rebated. So they can get their $5,000 back. So they put the $5,000 up, they get their $1 million plus an extra 5,000. All right? Fabulous. I'm telling you, this is awesome. Now, you want to know where suppliers are? Just do a Google search. Here's Google Coffee Suppliers, Dominican Republic. This Alibaba, which is a Chinese company, says they have 215 companies registered with them in China for Dominican coffee. Isn't that amazing? But there are 921,000 results. All right, so who knows what they are? But the fact is that all of these, Sweet Maria's, Bean North Coffee Roasting, Dominican Republic Coffee, Coffee Suppliers, the Dominican Republic, you could spend, 900,000. Well, that's just our tiny little country here in the Dominican Republic. Can you imagine the United States, Canada, Norway, Oslo, the Sweden, France, anywhere, Colombia, all of these places who are coffee drinkers, coffee producers. Why are we doing this? Well, we're wanting to help the farmers, quite frankly, because the farmers get the raw end of the stick. And so if we look back up here, oh, he did change it. Okay. I was just going to say, it says right in here that it's specifically designed to help the farmers, but he modified it and told me about it just before the webinar. So anyway, I guess he felt that they would object, the coffee industry, the big players would object that we're trying to support farmers. Well, we are supporting farmers with this whole protocol, and you'll see how in a minute. Okay, so that's one of the protocols. Now let's move to Casa di Bambino, World Promotion of Education. Well, Casa di Bambino is a Collins, Texas, USA doing business as. Casa di Bambino has negotiated an arrangement for Texas Holdings, Inc. to support education by providing 100% rebate for all education-related expenses for the previous 12-month period. A student or the student's family may submit requests for rebates of expenses related to education to an office designated by a school or college. Any legitimate education-related expense, including loss of income, may be submitted. The school or college, hereinafter institution, could add its own expenses to the list of rebates to be requested and provide a summary to any member of the Internet Catalog Club. The member would submit the request through Brightstar Work Center. If a request submitted is approved, THI may provide an institution a Regino LLC promissory note valued at twice, that's 200% of the value of the rebate requested. However, requests less than 100,000 must be added together with requests from others in order to be processed in block, with one party being responsible for contracting and making payments to those included in the block of requests. So same situation. Now, the interesting thing here is that you could go to a university or college campus and you could talk to all the students, and they might have 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. They pool it all together and they come up with one $5,000 fee. And so if you had 50 students, that's $100. A draft note of the Raheno promissory notes there. The institution must contract with THI to exchange a note received for USD bank deposit funds using the protocol. It's right there in how to use a Raheno promissory note. And as will be stipulated in the contract, an institution must return as changed the overpayment. So it's exactly the same as what we just saw. Additionally, as per contract, an institution must distribute the requested rebates to students and or their families. Funds returned to Texas Holdings may be distributed as per protocols in the THI business compensation plan. Additionally, to initiate the process, an institution must pay an LHP retail administrative fee, and that's going to be covered there. However, an institution and or students and or their families may promote other business with Texas Holdings, Inc., through which the payment of the fee may be earned or recovered, or an institution may recover the cost of the fee by including it in the amount to be rebated. All right, so what fabulous opportunities we have here, both in coffee and in education. Now, everybody can do this. I mean, there's no reason that you can't find a student who can take this and embrace it with all of his fellow students and cover all their expenses for the last 12 months. It's just absolutely fantastic opportunity to help people. All right. So if you have any questions on these, certainly Skype me or email me, and I'll do my best to get you the answers. These are brand new. This one just popped up right before the webinar, and the Cafe-Lette World was up yesterday, and I was planning on reviewing it. As I say, it has been changed, but it is available. Both of them are. Now, we're going to talk about what you really need to be doing to make this a big event for you and your family this year. And so we're going to talk about two different submissions. All right, well, we'll take a look at this one first. This is the formulation stage. Gary and Eddie are putting together a request for a $10 million promissory note. He's getting 5, I'm getting 5, all right? So properties and vehicles to be purchased in the Dominican Republic. So I've got, and this is what you've got to do, all right? You've got to, if you want to put the promissory note together, you've got to have what all this is for, who's going to get the promissory note, who the beneficiaries are. Now, I'm not that far along. We'll see this completed format next week, but I just wanted to show you, you can start putting this together now. So what I do is I have a link going directly to the house. It's 1.3 million. And so that's a beautiful home in Santiago. Then there's another home for 675,000 in Santiago, kind of closer to the center of the city. This one's just on the outskirts. And those two homes are for me. Why would I have two? Because I don't know which one I like better. And I guess I'll live in both of them for a while, and then I'll sell one that I don't like or rent it or whatever. Then there's another $250,000 home for 11 million Dominican pesos. And that works out to $250,000. And so there's two of them, and they're both very nice properties. The first one has a swimming pool in it for 250 grand. It's a beautiful property. And the second one doesn't. And so I'm buying 4 houses for me. Well, I'll live in one, obviously, and the others, one of them I'm going to give to my in-laws. And so that'll be number 3. I'm going to rent number 4 because I have potentially a family candidate that would be coming here to work. And so I can rent them that for Zcash or chips or BVK. And so I'll be doing that. And then the other 2, as I say, I'm buying them both. I really like both of them. And I'll just see which one I like better once I'm in them. And I'll either keep it and for Eddie or I'll sell it. All right, so then I'm buying a hotel Coconut Palms Hotel for $2.2 million. That's going to supply ongoing source of income, and I'll be buying another hotel on the next one. I'm going to get a brand new 2015 Hyundai Santa Fe for $40,000. You go and look at what they are in the States, they're probably half that price. There's the StarX 2011 van. They don't have new StarXs here, but that's 25 grand, and then a little Hyundai Accent for running around the city, 22 grand. So that's $4,762,900. The $5 million budget for Gary, balance approximately $237,100. That'll be allocated for furniture, appliances, house improvements, and cash flow. Now, in that cash flow, two things I'm going to put in there. First of all, I'm putting in $100,000 of that for the pre-purchase. I'm going to get a promissory note specifically for purchasing the $5,000 admin fees. And then I'm going to get another promissory note to pay for the prepayment of the business coefficients for my employee gold submission. So that's going to wipe out that 237 pretty quick, and it'll leave about 37 grand, if that. But anyway, Eddie's got to do his. We put the two together, and then we go ahead and make a listing. And I'll be speaking with Eric on Monday, and so Eric's an attorney that wants to move forward with this. He has a realtor that will take care of all the purchases of all the stuff, including the vehicles. And so we don't know who the promissory notes are going to be made out to just yet. Maybe made out to Eric with his escrow account, maybe made out to a company that we set up to do it. We aren't that far along. But these are the things you have to start thinking about in your hometown, all right? So that's one. Now, where you really want to be headed is what I've already done and what I'm helping Bruce do, and some the folks in Australia and New Zealand. So let's take a look at this one. Now, this is a sample employee gold application, and this is really ramped up from the sample of my fuel club on employee gold. Now we're getting into the big leagues. So you can request this if you're going to move forward with employee gold, and I don't care what you're buying, but if you see Warren's got a big beautiful farm, 4,000 dairy cattle. This one is for 3,500 dairy cattle. Pakatoa Island is 40 million. We're putting another 40 million on top for refurbishing it. So whatever your business is, rather than just buying it yourself, put it through and let Texas Holdings buy it. And here's what you can do. Texas Holdings buy it. So, you know, you're going to put up the 5 grand because the sellers don't want to seem to do it. So you put up the 5 grand, but here's what you can do. The 5 grand covers you to be able to have Texas Holdings buy it, and then you can buy it back, because here's what you're going to do. You're going to function as a fetus purchasing agent. Now remember, that's all you have to do there is be able to be in a position to buy stuff that's requested by fetus clients. So let's just say Ben or Richie decide to come to the Dominican Republic, and they don't know where anything is. So I'm the gopher, and I get paid to do it. I get paid to find them accommodations. I get paid to find them food from the grocery store, gas, rental cars, all that kind of stuff. That's all purchasing agent is. They may decide to build something, so I might need to put together an arrangement with Francesco, because he knows where all the building supplies are and he knows what to buy. So that's all it's all about. Then we're going to find at least 2 other business entities. We're going to advertise products and services on a one-member showcase place. That'll vary based on yours, but that's mine in specific. We're going to include all of what we buy and sell on the Chips Corner and the Zcash Locker, and it'll be quoted in Zcash and Chips. Now, when I get the hotel purchased, you're going to be able to stay at the hotel with BVK, Zcash, and Chips. All right, so I'll be accepting all of that at the hotel. Now I'm buying another hotel here in Santo Domingo. So either hotel, you can come and stay. You can come and work with me if you want, and you can pay with Zcash and Chips. Pretty exciting. And then we're going to set up the walking billboard advertising business. Now, you don't have to do this, but if you want Ben's undivided attention, I would suggest that you do. Why? Because you saw that penitentiary with that prison cell with all those men crammed in there like sardines. And so we want to eliminate that. So number 4 says we are committed to complete support of San Miguel walking billboard advertising protocols for San Miguel. And so we'll be using the La Strada Exchange facility. By the time we get this completed, it will probably be another week or so. And anyway, the budget we're putting together is for a website designer, maintenance and interface for all the websites that this particular organization wants to buy, 120 grand. Now we're going ahead with 100 walking billboard advertising trainees. So that's 31,200 that they're going to be paid, which is just minimum wage in this particular country that this is for. But you can set that higher, you can set it lower. I'm setting it lower here in the Dominican Republic, but you're going to set it now. In Ben's case, when it's going for San Miguel, it's going to be $600 a week. Now that's huge. Now think about this. You need to understand why he's doing what he's doing. If you paid him like $100 a week in San Miguel, you'll run into problems. So the first group of people that he's going to be bringing on board are professionals. Let's just call them professionals, okay? They know how to take care of themselves. And they will be outfitted with a t-shirt, obviously, that says Save San Miguel, you've seen it. And they'll have a bulletproof vest. They will be armed with taser and probably with a firearm. And they will have smartphones with GPS. And they'll be going out 2 by 2, and they'll be handing out brochures, and they will go through the business community. Now, what's happening within the business communities is that the businesses are being extorted to the point of extinction. And they're killing these people because they can't afford to pay anymore. Well, we've got to turn that around. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and show these businesses how they can use employee gold to pay the extortion fees. Well, you say that's kind of dumb. Why would you want to do that? Well, the reason you want to do that is so that the people can stay alive, and we can show the business owner a better way to do business. And so then the people that are professionals will obviously run into some of the gang members. And they'll pass them the brochure and say, look, stop being evil and start being good. And let's show you how. We're having a seminar at this local facility. Come on over, and we'll show you how you can turn your negative energy into very positive energy and help us rebuild San Miguel. Stop your extortion, stop your rape, stop your pillage, and let's make this world a better place. So the first few, I don't know how many he's going to do, it's not his deal. But in this particular situation, we're talking 100 people, and they won't be wearing bulletproof vests. They won't have tasers. They won't have guns. But they will be armed with a golf shirt, beautiful slacks, beautiful shoes. Everybody's going to have a really nice-looking outfit to wear, and they will have color brochures for whatever business you want to advertise. I think in this particular case, they're probably going to use My Fuel Club, but you can use whatever you want. It's your deal. So 100 people. Now there's going to be a manager for each 10 people. They're going to buy vans, and they'll move those people throughout the community on a rotating basis. And so once a month, one of the trainees will be going back 2 by 2 to the same area. And they'll be able to point out, well, the people across the road got involved. You should go talk to them about their employee gold application, what they're doing. And pretty soon we'll have a real bustle going on for the employee gold. An accountant, the owner, water purification, and IT consultant. This is a big farm. So animal nutritionists, mineral consultants, dairy farm consultants, a couple of full-time, part-time people, an agronomist, an assistant to the CEO. Now, really, the assistant's probably going to be the person that runs the operation. It's negotiable. Consulting fees at $2.4 million for Brightstar and house services. Now, you might say that's exorbitant. Well, understand that this is a gift, because whatever you have in here, you're going to get double. Okay, so yes, we're going to get $2.4 million between Gary and Eddie. That's 1.2 each, but you're going to get $2.4 million as well. And so that's 4.8 million total. Farm managers, herd managers, farm hands, farm mechanics, mechanics helpers. You can do the same kind of thing with a hotel. You can do the same kind of thing with a resort, a grocery store, a grocery chain, anything you want, you can do one of these for. Now, here's the beautiful part. As you see it all coming together, we've got project managers hiring bonuses, $1 million, employee taxes, $4 million. That's 40% of the earnings here, with the exception of the 4.8. There won't be any taxes charged there. And health coverage, $300,000, and they can use the healthcare solution to provide healthcare for this particular program. They can go to their local healthcare facility and show them how to do that. In return, they get healthcare for all their people. Now, here's the effort that you have to put forward. We recognize the above amount requires satisfaction, and for every million, there has to be a business coefficient, and so there's going to be 21, actually. This is incorrect. Didn't total it properly, but having said that, let's say it is correct. $7,500 in USD bank deposit funds, which would be a total of 165 grand. Well, guess what? Out of the first promissory note, you pay the 165 grand. That makes Ben a happy camper, and he can go forward with the San Miguel project for 22 times 50. All right, that's 22 times 50. That's 62,400. The 68 million that he's going to have for El Salvador. But guess what? So will you, or actually half of that. One half will be used to pay persons, so there's going to be 34,320,000 that you get, and the other goes to San Miguel. So then we add up the 20 million that's here. We add up 40,000 times 2, because that doubles, and then we take the coefficient. It gives us 109,000 total. Now, there's going to be 109,543,840 in chips. All right. Now, out of that 68, you're going to pay half out to Ben, but you're going to get the 40 there. You're going to get half of that, and that's a huge pile of money plus the chips. So now, can you afford to go and buy the farm back, which is 72 million? Well, you can do it just chips alone. That's 109 million. He's got enough to operate the farm. He's got enough to do everything he wants. So it could be a mine. It could be a gold mine, a copper mine. It could be anything big. An apartment complex. We've got a deal going down in Texas right now for a subdivision. And so Eddie's been and seen the subdivision. Right now it's just a pile of dirt. But we're going to buy it from them for the amount, and it's going to be set up so that, let's say, well, I'll give you an example. Let's say it's $40 million for the land, for the lots, and it's going to take another 60 million to build all the houses. So there's 100 million. So you go ahead and you put together one of these so that you can buy it back using Zcash and chips from THI. And you'll have promissory notes in order to put it all together. So this is a super way with which to use employee gold to buy anything you want. Let THI buy it first, and you buy it back. You've got the advertising coefficients. You can prepay for $20,000, $10,000, $20,000, $5,000 fees, and that way you never come out of pocket again. And then you're in a position where from time to time you might find somebody that's worthy that needs help with $5,000. You've got a fund of prepayment set. You've already bought them. You can say number 2 goes to so-and-so for their project. You work out whatever deal you want with that person to get your $5,000 back, double it, triple it, quadruple it, your choice, or they have to do so much work for you, whatever you want, but you're in a position. And I think one of the things that challenges us all is we're so used to working for a business that is cut and dried. And so you're looking for a roadmap that is complete, cut and dried. It's finished. Well, remember, in negotiations, it can change. It can change on every transaction. And so you might want to take some time to go and look at the art of negotiations. Do a Google search on something like that and see what you can read about negotiating, because that's what commerce is all about. If we look at the true definition of commerce, it's several entities getting together to put together buying and selling of stuff, pure and simple. And so you can review the definition of commerce and just know that you've got to learn how to negotiate. And so Korea has put together a contract with Gary and Eddie, and he is now partners with La Strada. And that puts him in a very advantageous situation. He had no money, and that's like most of us. But the fact is he did the work, and he found Scott. And Scott is going to be a crackerjack and a major player with us. And so the way I look at it, a piece of the pie is better than no pie at all. And so, yes, there are many hands in that. There are the 5 partners, of which one of the partners is split by 3. Okay, so make sure you're grasping this stuff. Watch these webinars more than once. You want to be able to teach this to somebody, and when you can teach this to somebody, then you've got it down where you can do it for yourself. So start thinking about what it is you want to do, what it is you want to buy, because we just can't give you a $100 million promissory note and let you try and cash it. You've got to have things that you're going to buy with it or do with it. An orphanage, a hospital, something has to have the funds be going to it, okay? So sky's the limit. We're here. We just need to put all these deals together, get the promissory notes, and if you don't want to get a lawyer, you don't want to get a bank, you don't have to. You've got the ability now to bring projects to THI. They'll buy it, and you get 90% of the profit, and they'll cash it in. Because remember, they're getting cash when they're doing their negotiations with their promissory notes. So it's really exciting times, and I want to make sure that you have every chance of being successful. So, having said that, let's stop that. So, I have nothing else to add today. I've got to get this done, and I've got to get some information off to another attorney. And let's hear from you. Let's get the protocols in play. Let's get your business plan together for you, so you and your family will have your Jubilee as we will have ours. Great success in all that you do this year. God bless you all. See you all next week. Bye for now.